Hey everybody, this is working with JSON with Python, and what we will be doing today is, reading JSON data from a file, writing to a file, how to convert a JSON string to a Python native object, how to convert a Python native object to a JSON string. So we'll do very simple, work with JSON, just so you know, hey, you have let's say you're a data scientist, you are given a JSON file, you're gonna have to know how to read this properly, and that's what we'll be doing today. So what I'll do first is create a dummy JSON file so we have something to work with. So I'm going to say dummy data.json, and I'll create an array and say, let's say we have two objects, and so that'll do. And we have, let's say, two items, right? So we've got an ID, and let's say this is one, and we've got category of, let's say, gadgets. And let's go to the second item. Let's just copy these and put that there. Let's see, let the ID be 2, and let's say this is clothing, right? So we've got some random JSON data. And the first thing what I'll be doing is, so suppose you're given this JSON data and you want to read this into your program. And what I'll be doing is, let's just create an empty file. I'm going to say code.py, and it'll import the JSON module, and this gives you access to all the JSON related functions. So to read a JSON file, what you would do is you're going to create a with open. You can do it with just open, but then you're going to have to close it manually with the with context manager. It just automatically closes when you're out of scope. So I'm going to say with open, I'm going to say /dummy data.json, and in read mode as f, I'm going to say data equals json.load it, load the file. You give the file pointer as the argument to the load function, and that there you go, right? That's literally it. So you can just print that data, you can see what's happening. Just do it like this and do that, and there you go, you have the data printed in there. Now let's do the opposite, right? Say suppose you have a Python list, right? Just the same list, and I'll just paste it here. I'm gonna say data equals this, and I want to write it to this JSON file, right? So let me just remove all the contents in this file, and I have this Python list with the name data. I want to write this into the dummy data.json file. So similarly, I would just open a file. So I'm gonna say with open of /dummy data.json in write mode. So earlier we did this in read mode. Now I want to write it. So I'm gonna say W for write mode as f, which is the file pointer. I'm gonna say json.dump of f, and I'm gonna say data comma f. So we're saying, hey, I want to dump that data into the file with the file pointer f. And if I would run that, there you go, we have this file here, right? So let me just format this. I can say format JSON. I just have an alias. So I'm gonna say dummy data.json. There you go, right? It's much cleaner this way. Now, suppose you have a JSON string, right? So it's exactly like this, right? But just say it's a string, we'll just add, inverted quotes, so just put it inside single quotes. And so this becomes a string. And let me just print this so we know what we are working with. I'll just run that. So it's a string, let's just print in the type. There you go, it's a class string. And how do I convert this into a Python native object, right? So to do this, you can use the json.dumps function. So I'm going to say Python, let's say obj, let's just say data obj equals json.dumps, and you just given the JSON string, right? So if you look at this now, so I can just print it here. I'll print the type 2. And you can close these. I'm gonna say, there you go, we have our string. And we have, okay, sorry. So to load it as a JSON object, you're going to use the loads function, right? I did the opposite, but there you go. So we have our JSON string here, and to convert it to an object, we use the loads function. We load it as a Python object, and there you go, right? We have the data object, and the type is as a list. So in the exact similar way, if we have a Python object, right, and we want to convert it into a JSON string, that's when we actually use the dumps function, and we say JSON just dump it as a JSON string. And I will just rename this. I'm gonna say JSON string, and remove this. I can print that, copy, then print the type 2. And if I just run this, there you go, right? This is basically a string, and the type shown here is string. Now, these are the basic four items you kind of have to know if you're working with JSON. And if you're a beginner with Python, like this is a really good project to kind of, hey, take a JSON file from the internet, just any weather data or financial data, try and manipulate it, or, load the JSON file, slice it and, dice it, etc., etc. Thank you for watching.